Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's get started here. Waiting for people to come in. In the meantime, I'll do a little talking here, folks, and tell you I had a very busy morning. I was on a deposition for a few hours, listening to lawyers questioning somebody. These are the kind of things I do. I go in, I had to get I had a new prescription for eyeglasses and other things. Let's see, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Candy Co. We got somebody. I was starting to wonder over here. I said, why can't we get anybody in the room here? All right, female Noah. Hey, handsome. Thank you. I appreciate that there. Thank you, guys. You know, you know what I did? I was there earlier, and I had it unlisted, and I was over here talking and talking. I go, why the hell can't I get anybody in? And I had it unlisted. Hi, everybody. God bless you all, and thank you for coming. I have important breaking news that just came in from the government, okay? Now, you all, where to go? You all recall, there it is. There it is, all right? This just came off of Pacer. I told you all about Pacer, and that's where you get all the documents on any federal government case that you want, okay? And my son's an expert at that, and he gets this for me, he sends it to me, and I print them out. Now, my son, he got on Pacer while I was in MDC Brooklyn, so he could follow my case every day, okay? And you know what? I still have a box of my paperwork in the closet here, and someday I'm going to pull that out and go through some of it with you, okay? But as you all know, I spent 30 months there on a Colombo crime family indictment. I ended up getting sentenced to 62 months. I did my time. But let's get into this. This is important, folks, okay? It's submitted by Jay Clayton, the United States Attorney, all right, for the Southern District of New York. Dear Judge Submaranian, the government respectfully submits this letter in response to the court's order dated August 1st, directing the government to explain the need for redactions in its July 31st letter opposing the defendant's motion for bail. Now, remember when I showed you that and all the part was redacted, and I told you I felt that there was something very odd? Now, folks, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that like button, okay? And please, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to hit that thanks button. And for all you who do hit the thanks button, you get all my love and respect. Thank you. Thank you, San Diego. Okay, Southwest Airlines. All right, folks, let's get into this here, okay? The public has a presumptive common law right to access judicial documents, and the First Amendment protects the public's right to access these documents. Notwithstanding the presumption of access under both the common law and the Fifth Amendment, the documents may be kept under seal if countervailing factors in the common law framework or harm. The Second Circuit has held that the privacy interests of innocent third parties, as well as those that may be harmed by disclosure of their names. It should weigh heavily in the court's balancing. Here's the part that's really going to get good. In determining the weight to be accorded in assertion of a right of privacy, courts should first consider the degree to which the subject matter is traditionally considered private rather than public. Records of a wholly owned business, family affair, illnesses, embarrassing conduct with no public ramification, and similar matters as weighing more heavily against access than conduct affecting a substantial portion of the public. The nature and degree of injury must also be weighed. Finally, in balancing the qualified right of public access against privacy interests, courts must consider the sensitivity of the information and subject, the sensitivity, and whether there is a fair opportunity for the subject to respond to any acquisition contained therein. The court in Amodio found that voluntary cooperation of person who may want or need confidentiality is also essential to the judiciary efficiency. It is likely to cause persons in the particular or future cases. Let me read that back again. Is likely to cause persons in the particular or future cases to resist involvement where cooperation is desirable. That effect should be weighed against the presumption of access. The government has proposed minimal redactions to the letter, which only covers statements made by witnesses and victims to the government and law enforcement that were not disclosed at trial. As an initial matter, the proposed redactions component with the protective order entered by the court on this case, which governs all 3,500 material, including the instant statements by victims and witnesses. So, bro, let's break that down in very simple terms. It sounds like they're not giving the names because they got another indictment come. They have other witnesses. So what are those witnesses? These witnesses are not going to testify in the other trial. That's over. So they got something brewing. And I'm wondering if KK is one of those people. Now, on the top of this letter, the judge wrote that it's fine for now, but parties should not expect that any submissions made in connection with the upcoming sentencing will be sealed. See? The judge even differentiated it. Okay? So this here has nothing to do with sentencing. It has to do with something else. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming, as I've been saying, that Diddy's got a big headache. Now, I told you I was going to talk about Diddy's family. His lawyers are out there squawking like little crybabies. And I don't know who's dumb or dumber. Is Diddy dumber than his lawyer, or are his lawyers dumber than Diddy? And you folks, leave it in the comments what you think about that. Because, I know so many really good lawyers. And if Diddy is telling his lawyers what to do, when to do it, what to say, then his lawyers should be firing Diddy, regardless of how much. But these lawyers are money hungry, and they got a cash cow with Sean Combs, P. Diddy, and don't forget the P stands for Punk Diddy. Okay? I don't know if you knew that, but I'm the one who started that. Punk Diddy. All right? And he's being a punk. He's a punk in prison. He thinks he's special. There's 1,700 other inmates there, all fighting cases. And he thinks he's special, and his lawyers are coming out, yeah, we're talking to Trump. Bullshit, they're not talking to Trump. It's crazy. Who would think? Okay? It's so stupid. You hear Agnello, oh no, he's going to get out of prison. Him and Kanye, they're going to do a big concert in Madison Square Garden. Come on, folks. Let's face it. They're two old guys now. I'm not into rap. I do listen to Tupac. I listen to this kid Lamar. I like that kid. Good kid he is. Okay? I never listened to Diddy. I can't name you one song he ever did. I know he was big, but I can't name it. Okay? And look at the young rappers coming up. They're 18, 19, 20 years old. These guys are in their 60s almost. Give me a break. And then he wants to spend time with his family. Well, all of a sudden, his family's important. Yeah, he always provided financially to his family. But he wasn't with them. He wasn't there as a loving father, like a father should be. All of a sudden, he's concerned about his mother and his children. Okay? But yet, he was having these freak-out parties going for 4 or 5 days a week, which I'm sure his family wasn't part of it, were they? And now, how do you think those two girls that he had with Kim Porter really feel? They went to court almost every day. And here they are. They're hearing these accusations that their father might have killed their mother. They're hearing these accusations that, he paid $1 million to kill Tupac. They're hearing about all these people that mysteriously died because of their father. How do you think they really feel, these kids? I feel sorry for them. I got to be honest with you. Okay? I mean, they're really bad. All right, folks. Any new subscribers here today? Okay, I'm getting these texts in from that deposition. Okay, any new subscribers? I got no thanks from anybody. Nobody wants to give me a couple bucks over here. Come on, who's going to break the ice here? All right, help me out. Help this old man out. I got to eat. Hey, folks, I've been going since 4 a.m. this morning. I've really been busier than hell. I had a new prescription for eyeglasses, so I had to go to the eyeglass place, all right, to get a new pair of glasses. I wear hearing aids. I don't have them on now, all right, but I got a new pair of hearing aids, so I went to, the VA gives them to me. I am a veteran, and I am a disabled veteran, okay? And I served my country very proudly. Very proudly, folks, for 3 years, 1963 to 66, with the 25th Infantry Division under General Westmoreland. And you know where the whole 25th went. I don't have to say no more there. And what else did I do today? It was crazy. I mean, this technology, I gotta tell you, it drives me crazy. All of a sudden this morning, I couldn't hear nothing on my phone. I was listening to YouTube stations, I couldn't hear nothing. I finally called Apple, what the hell's wrong? I had my Bluetooth on. And because of that, I couldn't hear nothing. Simple things, but, for a guy like me, I don't know what the hell. All right? Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that there. Fawn, how are you? I don't know. Can you see all these texts I'm getting over here? They don't stop. These people. Somebody just asked, please tell what I'm talking about. You're going to have to watch this should be posted later, you can see. But I'm talking about Diddy and his lawyer. You know, good lawyers would not accept taking they're going to listen to their client, of course. They're going to do that. But their client says their client says you got to do this, you got to do that. And they're doing it. Okay? These people, Diddy, what he should be concentrating on is firing all these lawyers. Now, I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'll tell you how I think he got Mark Agnello. Okay? You got to remember, Diddy and Mark Garagos have been friends for a long time. Mark has represented him in other civil cases. So now, boom, there's a big criminal case out of New York. His lawyer, his daughter is partners with Mark Agnello's firm. So they get that. That's all. Now look at, the lawyer gets a $1 million retainer referred by another lawyer. That lawyer is going to get at least 10%, 100 grand. So Mark Garagos is making money here, all right, in addition, okay? Yes, it is a Paris painting, by the way. So Mark Garagos is making money. And he's not a good lawyer, but he's a good publicity guy. That's his main thrust, getting publicity. However, in this case, he's done nothing. Thank you, Lovejoy, $20. God bless you, my dear. Oh my God, $20. Everybody, give that gentleman, give Lovejoy a thumbs up, okay? I appreciate that there. Anybody coming in more, help me out over here? I appreciate it. So anyway, I'll tell you about Mark Garagos. Now, Mark Agnello is going on TV and saying, yeah, Diddy and Kanye, when he gets out, they got plans. They're going to do a concert at Madison Square Garden. Seriously, folks? Let me ask you a question. These are two old guys. If you're into rap, would you go and Madison Square Garden buy tickets to see two old men? If you're into rap, you're looking for these younger guys. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay? I mean, and by the time Diddy get out of prison, he's going to be 10 years older than he is right now. So, all right? Because I say he's going to get a minimum of 10 years. All right? His lawyers are screwing up like that. Don't think the judge don't see this. Because the judge does. He sees all this here. You know, I got 170 people here and only 83 likes. That's pretty good. Okay, and only $20 so far. Okay, let's keep it rolling then, folks. All right. As I told you yesterday, I'm gonna be talking to you. I'm gonna give you. You know, I see Sammy Gravano. We all know he was a rat. Lovejoy, bronze. Thank you. You know, I don't know about you, but you know, me, I was in the life. I know the life, I know the politics, I know the regulations, I know everything about it. But one thing that I believe in is what happens in the shadows stays in the shadows. Yes, we know Sammy Gravano was an informant against John Gotti, okay? But he's on all these shows talking about how he killed people, how he set them up. And he wants to act like he's the smartest bastard in the world, okay? I mean, I don't want to hear about how somebody, you should not be discussing those kind of things. But he's giving you every little detail of how to prepare to kill somebody and what you do after you kill somebody. He should not be doing that. You know, if he was out there and trying to help young people stay out of a life of crime, I say, okay, man. What he's doing, he's giving people a blueprint of how to go kill people. And, you know, I just don't like it. I got to tell you, it's my personal opinion. And, you know, there was a period of time I thought Sammy was a pretty okay guy. Okay? I mean, he and I, we only had a few conversations in our lifetime. But I just don't like that kind of stuff. I don't know about you. And you would never hear me talking about anything like that there. If I can't help, if I could do something to help anybody make their lives better, that's who I am, folks. Okay? I don't want to make your life worse. I want to make it better. And I want you to make your life better. Become a better person. All right? Achieve your goals. Be happy in life. We only have one life. We're not here for a long time. All right? It's in a blip of the eye and you're gone. So we should make every day a very happy day, a positive day. And as I tell you every day, let's do good for somebody else. Make somebody else's life happy. And I tell you, I guarantee it, that it'll come back to you tenfold. Yeah, Trump should release all the files on the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell case. They should not hesitate. He should have done what he said he would do. If he would have done that, nobody be talking about it. But now, nobody could stop talking about it. And nobody could stop talking about Diddy. And we got serious things happening. Yesterday, there was some idiot got on an army base in Georgia and shot 5 soldiers. Why? What reason? There's no reason for that. You know? And for those who think for one moment that Trump's going to give Diddy a pardon, you got another guess coming. Trump is not. And if you think for one moment that Diddy is on Trump's mind, he's not. Trump has too many other things. A meeting with Putin, a meeting with Zelensky. He's got the thing in the war in Israel. He's got bigger things to think about. The economy, he's got to change this economy. Okay, he's doing all this here. Diddy's attorney, Mark Gagnon. Yes, I heard about that. What a joke. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Global News Network. Yeah, thank you. I heard about that. I heard it. Mark Agnell, I told you he was no good from the beginning. And I stick by that there. Everybody thinks, oh, they won the case. Wait a minute. If they won the case, why is Diddy still in prison? They didn't win, so they won a couple of the charges. He's still facing 20 years or more. What's wrong? Mark Garagos is a moron. They're going to go back about how the Mann Act was created during the Civil War and all that bullshit. Who gives a shit, Mark? Mark Agnello, Mark Garrigold, Kenny, all his other lawyers. Why don't you talk more about how violent your client is? And that's the reason that he did not get bail. Stop putting down that the man acted or nothing acted, he should be out on bail. Yeah, the man acted by himself without any violence would have been out. Not Diddy. You saw everybody in the world, including President Trump, has seen that video at the hotel down the street of him beating the hell out and kicking Cassie like she was a rag doll. And then they heard it all with the other girls. Even that girl Gina who writes that letter. How dumb is she? To write a letter after she testified, she knows she's got legal problems. What does the 826 Amendment apply here? I don't know. I asked the Lou 782. Tell me. Okay? Folks, I can't read everything. I am 80 years old. And, I try to do my best here. So, and I got to tell these people to take me off that goddamn group text. It's driving me crazy over there. Folks, I try to come here, spend a half hour, 45 minutes with you, okay? I try to give you creative content. I give you the truth. I give you the facts. And, and I give you stuff when things come from the government. I give you that information. I try to break it down in simple terms. And I hope it all helps. And I want you all to know that, I really seriously, okay, I look forward to coming here and talking to you folks. And, I wish there was a way that we could all be talking to each other. That would be great, wouldn't it? Okay? I would love that there. This was like an audio app, because you people are all very awesome. And I wanted you all to know I love you very much. Okay, folks, I'm going to go get something to eat now. Have you eaten today? It's lunchtime here in Los Angeles. Okay? So everybody have a great day. God bless. Be safe. And as usual, all my love and respect to you. And I'll be back here tomorrow. God bless. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then.